You buy the Powerball on a Tuesday in October at the Speedway on Lorraine Avenue in Cleveland. You buy it because Annette Whittle behind the counter says the jackpot is $2.3 million, and you have $4 left in your account until Friday. You play the same 6 numbers your father Vernon played for 31 years and never hit on. You pick up a Diet Pepsi, lose $3 in the slot machine in the corner, drive home in the Ford Ranger you are still making payments on. The drawing is at 10:59 p.m. You watch it because you have watched it every Tuesday and Saturday since you were 14 years old. The balls land. You read the numbers twice. You read them 4 times. You sit on the carpet in your living room and you do not move for 41 minutes. You walk into the kitchen at 11:47 and your wife, Marlena Quintero Hostler, is asleep at the table with the lamp on and a paid bill in her hand. You do not wake her. You sit on the linoleum with the ticket between 2 fingers and you do not move until the sun comes up. That morning you call the Ohio Lottery Commission. The woman on the phone is named Doreen Albright and she asks you to come in for verification on Thursday. You drive there in the Ranger. You sign your name 12 times. The check is for $1,058,000 after lump sum cash election and federal and state tax withholding. You meet a lawyer the same week. Her name is Iris Pacheco-Lyle, and her office is above a sandwich shop on Detroit Avenue. The carpet is gray, the bookshelves are crowded, the window faces a parking lot. She tells you 3 things. Park half in a separate account, tell no one, wait 12 months before any large purchase. You nod and you sign the engagement letter and you write a retainer check for $4,200. You walk out of her office and you call your brother Travis Hostler from the parking lot before you reach the truck. By Friday at noon, 12 people know. By Sunday, it is 26. You do not remember telling most of them. You buy your father a granite headstone at Calvary Cemetery in West Park for $3,400. You stand in front of the new stone for an hour on a Saturday morning and you say words to him that you have never said to anyone alive. The morning is cold and your breath shows. You drive home and Marlena asks you where you went and you say, errands, because the truth feels too large to put inside the kitchen. You open a separate Charles Schwab brokerage account that same week. You park $500,000 inside it and you tell yourself you will not touch it. The other $554,000 sits in your Huntington checking account where it has always sat, and that is the first mistake you make, and you do not yet know it. The first $300,000 is gone in 11 weeks, and you cannot account for most of it. You buy a 2024 Silverado in obsidian black for $79,800 because the Ranger was 8 years old and you said the word deserve out loud in the showroom on Brook Park Road. The salesman is named Garrett Mahalik, and he calls you boss through the entire test drive. You take Marlena to Maui in February and stay at the Wailea Beach Resort, and the checkout bill is $14,600, and you pay it without looking. You buy her a Cartier bracelet at the airport for $9,200, and she cries in the rental car because she has never owned anything that expensive in her life. You give your sister, Tessa Hostler Merrick, $40,000 for her son Brendan's tuition at Ohio State. You give your brother Travis $50,000 for what he keeps calling an opportunity. You don't ask what the opportunity is. You give your mother $30,000 to replace the roof on the Parma house. You give her $20,000 more 6 weeks later when the roof contractor disappears with the first check. You start saying yes the way you used to say no, and the saying yes feels like the actual win. The check feels like the win. By April, you check the balance and there is $812,000 left, and you tell yourself that is still a lot, and it is, and it isn't. The cousins find you in May. You haven't seen Curtis Lemansky since your father's wake in 2019, and now he's on your porch at 9 p.m. on a Wednesday with a manila folder. The folder is a business plan for a mobile detailing operation in Parma. He needs $65,000 for equipment and a year of insurance. You write the check at the kitchen counter because saying no to Curtis is harder than writing it. 2 weeks later, your cousin Renee Lemansky-Doss texts you a photo of a hospital bill for $11,400, and you Venmo it the same hour without asking what it was for. The pattern locks in fast. By August, you have funded 6 relatives. Travis's opportunity has produced no return and no answers. Curtis's detailing operation owns 3 pressure washers and a Facebook page with 11 followers. Renee has not texted you in 7 weeks since the Venmo cleared. You stop answering the phone on Sundays. Marlena starts asking questions you do not have answers for. You drive past your old apartment on West 117th one afternoon in the Obsidian truck, and you sit in the parking lot for 40 minutes for reasons you cannot explain to yourself. The account reads $478,000 the morning of August 30th. You do the math twice on a paper napkin at a diner on Clifton Boulevard, and you understand for the first time that you are bleeding and that you have been bleeding since February. Reggie Halverson finds you at a Cavs game in early September. He sits 2 seats down at a corporate suite Travis somehow got tickets to. Charcoal suit, shoes that cost more than your first car. He has a business card on linen paper. He says he runs a private fund, and he has read about you in a local plain dealer feature, which is the part that should have ended the conversation. You let him buy you a beer instead. You give him your number on a napkin. He calls you the next Tuesday at 11 a.m. He says he has an opening, a 13-month structured yield position in a commodities arbitrage book, and he can take a minimum of $200,000. He says the return projection is 31% annualized, and the downside is capped at 4% by what he calls a managed sleeve. You ask him 3 questions, and he answers each one in the same warm, even voice, and none of the answers stay in your head for more than 9 seconds. You wire him $250,000 on the 3rd call. He sends you a portal login. The portal shows your balance increasing every Friday in clean serif numerals. By late October, the portal reads $271,400, and you tell Marlena you finally got smart. You ask Reggie to wire $50,000 back in early November. He says the position has a 90-day lockout. You ask again in December. The lockout is now 180. In January, his number is disconnected. You drive to the address on Reggie's card on a Saturday in February. The address is a UPS store on Hilliard Boulevard. The kid behind the counter is named Joaquin, and he says the mailbox was paid through January in cash, and he has never seen anyone come to collect. By March of the 2nd year after the win, your account balance reads $190,000, and you have not told Marlena about Reggie. You are still making payments on the Obsidian truck. The HOA at the new house in Westlake costs $612 a month, and you did not budget for it because you did not budget for anything. Travis stops by on a Saturday afternoon and asks for another $20,000, and you say no for the first time in your life, and he calls you a word your father used to call people, and walks down the driveway without looking back. The check engine light comes on in April, and you decline the repair because the repair is $1,800, and you cannot bring yourself to spend it. You sell the Cavs season tickets you bought in November at a loss of $14,200. You let the lawn service go in May. You let the cleaning service go in June. The summer is quiet. The fall is quieter. You stop driving past the cemetery because you cannot face Vernon Stone with what you have done to the inheritance he never got to leave you. In the spring of the 2nd year after the win, you are sitting at your kitchen table at 6:14 a.m., and the balance reads $14,000. And you Google, how much do groceries cost in retirement? Because you cannot bring yourself to Google, what happens to people like me? Marlena comes downstairs in a robe and sees the search bar and does not say anything. She pours coffee. She sits across from you. She is the only person from before who is still here. You read once that the lottery does not change people, it just gives you a louder version of whoever you already were. You did not believe that on the night you signed your name in Doreen Albright's office. You believe it now. The money is gone. The truck is going. Travis is gone. Reggie was never real. The version of you that was bad with $4 was a much bigger problem with $1,058,000. And the math of that was always going to find you. Marlena is still at the table, and she is still pouring coffee, and you understand, finally, that she was the wealth. She was the wealth the whole time, and you spent 18 months trying to find it somewhere else. You do not know yet who you are. You know who you were. You know who the win revealed. The two are the same person, and that is the part you are going to have to sit with for a long time.